Hi, everyone. For this week's session, we want to cover one of the most mysterious topics for our founders, which is how do I actually find product market fit? Well, first of all, if you want to know what product market fit is, please feel free to check out our free email course, hyperlinked below, and or learn more by subscribing to our newsletter. But for today's session, we're going to be covering the question of how do you actually find product market fit? So, hi everyone, my name is Shuo Chen. I'm a former founder, now investing in founders and also teaching founders at Berkeley and Stanford. And I'm excited to share with you our top 3 tactical tips for how to find product market fit. For our first tip today on finding product market fit, it's all about identifying and focusing on your true fans. You want to ask your users this question. The question is, how would you feel if you could no longer use our product? And they have 3 options. A, very disappointed. B, somewhat disappointed, and C, not disappointed. By asking your users this question and getting their response, you can then start to segment your users and assign different personas. You want to really focus on the very disappointed group because these are your actual true fans. You want to ask yourself, well, what type of person would benefit most from this product? You want to analyze the language that your users use from this bucket because they often describe themselves, revealing to you what your ideal audience actually looks like and what your messaging should really be to resonate with them. You want to use these insights to help refine your product positioning, your marketing copy, and your user targeting. So the goal is not for you to tell your fans who they are and what they should be excited about, but for you to build your product and then see who engages with your product the most and understand what they want from you and then build for them. That brings us to the second top tactic for how to find true product market fit. And this second piece around finding product market fit really focuses on amplifying what users love and addressing what holds users back. So how do you find what users love? Well, you want to ask your true fans, what is the main benefit you receive from our product? And you want to identify the most common themes of benefits from their responses. And then you want to identify what holds people back. Find users who would be somewhat disappointed if they could no longer use your product and basically evaluate if they have the same themes as your true fans. You want to uncover their pain points. It could be gaps in the features, or it could be complaints or frictions they have with your product. And of course, you want to actually ignore those who don't align with any benefits and are not currently accruing benefits from your product at all, aka the users who are answering not disappointed at all if they can't use your product. And you want to prioritize improvements to your product accordingly. So there are also a couple of other criteria to consider when you're thinking about which improvements to prioritize. You want to rank these improvements by cost, whether it's low, medium, high, to make these improvements, and by impact of low, medium, high, of what is the impact on your user base. You want to really prioritize the low-cost, high-impact changes because these are your low-hanging fruits. And you want to split your efforts. You want to spend about 50% of the time enhancing the most loved features and about 50% of the time removing blockers and obstacles for your users. So the second tactic is really focused on amplifying where users love and addressing what holds people back. And the last tactic around how to find real product market fit is really making sure that the percentage of very disappointed users who would be very, very disappointed if they can't use your product becomes your primary metric. This is where you want to survey new users consistently. You track the percentage of users who answer very disappointed if they could no longer use your product on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. You repeat this process of identifying what users love and what holds them back, and you want to align product goals to really help you optimize for this one metric. And of course, one potential downside to this metric is that you could have some sort of a bias because not all users necessarily respond to your survey and your response rate could be low. So if you're curious and hearing more about that, we can cover that in a future week topic. Please feel free to let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, if you want to learn more about traps to avoid, tools to leverage, and implementing the tactics we just talked about, please feel free to subscribe to our newsletter and read more in the link below. With that, we look forward to talking to you more about just the top questions we get from founders in our community. And please feel free to like, subscribe, and share our video to other friends in your founder network. Thanks so much, and we'll see you at next week's topic. Bye.